Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wilmington High School Class of 2010 Commencement Ceremony. I would like to begin by introducing our guests. Town Manager, Mr. Michael Kyra. Superintendent, Mrs. Joanne Benton. Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Peter McGinn. Business Manager, Mr. Paul Ruggiero. State Representative, Mr. James Maselli. Members of the school committee, Mrs. Peggy Kane. Mr. Quincy Vale. Dr. Leslie Quick. Ms. Kathleen Carroll. Mr. Robert Hayes. And Mr. Mario Marchese. I would like to give a special welcome to the Assistant Principal, Michael Nee. This is his last graduation, as he will be retiring at the end of the school year after 38 years of service to the Wilmington Public Schools. Wilmington High School Principal, Mr. Eric Tracy, and Assistant Principal, Ms. Deb Deacon. The Wilmington High School faculty. I would like everybody to rise. Please welcome the class of 2010.
Please remain standing. Thank you. Please remain standing. I'd like to invite Senior Class President Olivia Fuller to the stage to recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. And the greatest band in the land will take over with the Star-Spangled Banner. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd like to invite to the stage our town manager, Mr. Michael Kyra.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tracy. This is our version of losing it with Jillian Michaels, I think, today, huh? We're all gonna sweat together, maybe lose a couple of pounds as we enjoy the comfortable seats in this air-conditioned auditorium. If nothing else, we'll be coming back in a year or so to ask for a new high school, so keep that in mind, won't you all? It is a great pleasure to be here to represent the town of Wilmington, really for the purpose of congratulating this wonderful class of 2010 and thanking them and so many of the people, so many of you who have made it possible for their success. John Wooden, who just passed away at the age of 99, said, "Success is not a destination, it is a journey." And truly you are going to begin your journey. And it's a journey that I hope has been grounded in a wonderful education and in a community that loves you very deeply and has a tremendous affection for you. And we have that affection especially for the class of 2010 because you have been so community-oriented, and we certainly appreciate that. We appreciate all that you have done in the classroom, all that you have done on the athletic fields, all that you have done in the fine arts. We even appreciate the giraffe on the roof the other day. Probably not as much as the other things we appreciate, but we do acknowledge your ingenuity, if nothing else. My only words to you are to think about what you say before you say them. Think about what you write before you write them. Think how it feels today to be Pau Gasol from the Los Angeles Lakers, who had some not so flattering comments about Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett's going to think about those words, and he's going to turn them into energy. You want to think about what you say, so that what you say usually is something constructive and said with meaning and thoughtfulness, and above all, said with kindness, because I think that's what is most important in our life. You are to be commended for all that you do, and you are to be commended for all that we hope you will accomplish. And so on behalf of the town of Wilmington, I am delighted to stand here and recognize you for all that you have been, and I know for all that you will become. Congratulations to the class of 2010.
Thank you, Mr. Kyra. Please welcome the chairperson of the school committee, Mrs. Margaret Kane.
Thank you. Town Manager Kyra, Superintendent Benton, Representative Maselli, Principal Tracy, members of the Wilmington High School faculty and staff, parents, families, friends, and especially the graduates of 2010. On behalf of your school committee and the community of Wilmington who we represent, it gives me great pleasure to congratulate you as you pass this major milestone on your journey through your life. You are our future, and so we thank you for preparing yourself by developing your skills and knowledge and establishing your own identity. Your community respects you. We support you, and we have high hopes for each of you. As you pass on to your destiny, remember the message that Superintendent Benton has hanging on her wall. Destiny is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. We wish you meaningful choices. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Kane. Please welcome the superintendent of schools, Mrs. Joanne Benton.
Good afternoon, everyone. Parents, students, staff, honored guests, on behalf of the Wilmington Public Schools, I wish to welcome you to the commencement for the class of 2010. To the class of 2010, I wish to congratulate you on your many accomplishments. As you celebrate today, please find time to thank your families, for they have always been there for you. Find time to thank your friends, for they have supported you through the good times as well as the difficult times. Find time to thank your teachers, for they made this day possible for you to get to where you are today. They taught you to take risks, to follow your dreams, and to be the best that you can be. The theme of my speech today is I Knew You Could. When I was little, my father would read to me The Little Train That Could by Waddy Piper. I loved that book. I loved the message in the book. It reminded us to always do our best and help those in need. Well, Craig Dorfman has written a sequel entitled I Knew You Could. In it, the little blue engine returns to inspire us to always believe in ourselves. And I'd like to share a little bit of with you today. I knew you could, and you knew it too, that you'd come out on top after all you've been through. And from here you'll go farther and see brand new sights. You'll face brand new hills that rise to new heights. I wish I could show you the stops that you'll visit, but that isn't my choice to make for you, is it? Instead, I can tell you some lessons and tales that I've learned and relearned in my time on the rails. First of all, you must find your own track so you can start right away and don't be held back. But which track is yours? Well, that'll depend on which way it's going and where it might end. Over and under and through you go, so pick out the one that works best for you. Though the track you start out on will feel like the right one, you might make a few more before you are done. And now with your eyes on your new destination, start up your wheels and roll out of the station. On your new trip, you'll make plenty of stops in deep river valleys and on high mountain tops. Some will surprise you and some will be planned, and you'll roll through each one saying, I think I can. You'll go through tunnels surrounded by dark, and you'll wish for a light or even a spark. You might get scared or a little bit sad, wondering if maybe your track has gone bad. If you rush forward as a general rule, before you arrive, you could run out of fuel. Don't overlook or overwork, but save up some strength. That way, every day, you can travel great lengths. You'll need all the strength on the days when you're stuck, or tired, or sad, or just out of luck. When your belief in yourself doesn't feel quite so pure, and you think, I think I can, doesn't sound quite so sure, that's when you push and you strive to strain to show the world you're not giving up this train. And you're wise if you know that doing your best means that sometimes you should just slow down and rest. Speeding through your whole trip will bring only sorrow, so slow down today and be happy tomorrow. There's more about life that you'll learn as you go, because figuring things out on your own helps you grow. Just trust in yourself and you'll climb every hill. Say, I think I can, and you know what? You will. Now go out there and start your journey called life. Enjoy and good luck, and don't be afraid. The Wilmington community will always be here if you are in need of some aid. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Mrs. Benton. Mahatma Gandhi said, I shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. As I read this quote, an individual immediately came to mind. This individual has consistently worked to give back, but in a little bit of a different way. This individual is always willing to give back to Wilmington High School. Taking time out of school to attend meetings, to represent the student body, knowing that the schoolwork that was missed would need to be made up. This person is always asking where help was needed and representing the high school at places like the MIAA, the MSSAA, Gillette Stadium, always in order to make sure we had a place at the table and to learn more about helping others. During the last 6 years, I have been able to give the Principal's Award only 2 other times. It is reserved for those individuals who give selflessly back to our school without looking for accolades or recognition. It is reserved for those who believe it is their duty to continue the great traditions of our high school without ever being asked. This year, I'd like to take a moment to present the Principal's Award for selfless, dedicated service to someone who I believe has Wildcat blue blood in his veins, Mr. Cole Carter. Cole. Promised the grads I'd keep this short. Earlier this week, most of us watched in disbelief as baseball umpire Jim Joyce blew a call that cost pitcher Armando Galarraga a perfect game, a feat only completed 20 times in the history of Major League Baseball. After watching the instant replay, it was clear Joyce blew it. Interestingly, this blown call is representative of a position that you may have been in or will be in during your lives, probably more than once. What will you do after you blow the call, or if you do something that was not so nice? In life, there is no instant replay, and everyone will have their own rendition of your blunder. That puts you in the driver's seat. What will you do? Both the umpire and the player responded in ways that I would bet no one ever expected. Clearly, there are many opinions of what to do, but which will be the right one? We may never know. As you move on today to write the next verse of the song of your life, think of the songs that you count as your favorites. Live your lives with the emotion, integrity, and rhythm of a truly great piece of music. Your song may sometimes get out of rhythm, so be prepared to stop playing and to find the rhythm that led you to your previous successes. On behalf of the staff and faculty of Wilmington High School, I'd like to say thank you and good luck to all of the graduates in the class of 2010. We will miss you. I'd like to present a few quick awards to 3 students who have worked very hard this year. The first to our class essayist, Kellen Campbell.
I can stick it here. Our graduation day has finally arrived. Some of us are more eager to leave Wilmington than others, but we will all remember how important this community has been. The town of Wilmington may not have a state-of-the-art high school or a public swimming pool or a movie theater, but we have so much more than the material things other towns brag about. We have a true community in Wilmington that encourages us to succeed in all of our endeavors. I may have lived in Wilmington my entire life, but I know that it is not just another typical suburban town. In Wilmington, adults, children, and seniors all interact on a regular basis, resulting in a cohesive community that supports all of its members. Different organizations and groups in town encourage people of all ages to get involved in the community and to enjoy new experiences. As a result, we have been able to connect with each other and form lifelong friendships. This may have been common 50 years ago in towns that were half Wilmington's size, but for that type of relationship between citizens of a town to still exist is unique. Because Wilmington is such a giving community, we as students have benefited. In return, students in our class have provided many different services, whether it is raking leaves for senior citizens, coaching special needs children, stocking shelves at the local food pantry, or working at a bookstore to benefit the library. At the high school, we are provided with countless opportunities to lend a hand and serve others. Clubs and organizations have come together to raise money for cancer, send supplies to troops overseas, and help victims of the earthquakes in Haiti. This constant service to both the local and global community has affected us in high school, but will continue to influence us in the future. Thanks to the encouragement of our community, teachers, and administration, many of us will continue our dedication to serving others after high school. I think we can expect great things from the class of 2010. The town motto is small town, big family. And for the past 4 years, we have been part of a family as we learned from both our successes and our failures. Although some of us will leave Wilmington, I don't think that we will forget the value of community, which has been a prominent part of our education during the past 12 years. Thank you.
Good job, Colin. I'm gonna have you stay up here, okay? Stay right here. And now, I'd like to invite to the stage our salutatorian of the class of 2010, Adele Musicant. I'll hold on to it if you want. Give me hands.
Okay, that was a little loud. I know we all just want to get out of here. We want our diplomas and we want to get on with our summers, so it's going to be really short, I promise. Up until a few days ago, I really had no idea what I was going to talk to you guys about. I wasn't really motivated to work on a speech because, honestly, all I want to do is get to college. I don't want to spend more time thinking about high school. I'm sure most of you can relate to that. But then somebody reminded me of something. It made me stop and think. She told me to savor life rather than race through it. And she's right. We're all way more concerned with the next steps of our lives rather than the step we're taking right now. The future's really exciting for all of us to think about. I mean, we're all amazing and talented, and we're gonna have some really great opportunities soon. But what if something we do, a decision we make tomorrow, could shape the rest of our lives and the lives of others too? At the risk of sounding corny, we need to live in the moment, because every minute and every decision could be important. And think about this. There's always a future to look forward to, but when does the future become the present? Are you actually going to enjoy the future you've been looking forward to when it happens, or are you just going to shift your focus to that next big event? It's great to have dreams and goals. You can live for the future, but don't live in the future. So enjoy today. I mean, we're graduating. It's a huge day for all of us and a huge goal that we've accomplished. This is probably the future that some of us have been looking forward to. So why rush through it? Take time to be proud of what you've accomplished. Live for today because the future's going to happen.
I'd like to now invite the valedictorian of the class of 2010 to the stage, Mr. Brendan Mooney.
Well, all right. Hey, I went to high school with that guy. All right. Anyway. Just, break the silence here. So, I would like to read a poem I wrote for the occasion. A long time ago, two guys were like, hey, let's start a public education system and work for a better future today. We'll teach them math and science. They'll be whizzes, I'm sure. And we'll give them an environment to socialize and mature. English, social studies, foreign language, we can teach them that stuff too. And teach them the dangers of drinking and drugs and all the bad stuff they could do. And lead them on to higher education in places far and near. And make sure they get exercise by making them play a game 40 minutes a day, every other day for half the year. We'll have to monitor the bathrooms, definitely right. But they won't have to pay to graduate. Well, they might. We'll encourage them to celebrate Pi Day. That's hot. We'll give them pizza every Friday. I don't see why not. We'll make them carry books on their backs. Yes. We'll make them run a mile around the track. Yes. We won't have a uniform rule. Yes. They can wear flip-flops to school. We'll have after-school clubs and sports teams that really get game. And every school will have a mascot, like the Wilmington, what's an original name? Wildcats. Anyway, here we are. This has been coming for 12 years. We've been waiting, suffering through, for that long. Obviously, we all have a lot of memories, back from elementary school up through last week, I suppose. And of course, this is not only a time for acknowledging those memories, but for thinking ahead. And with this in mind, I'd like to read the end of the poem. Today is graduation day. The kids, no longer trapped, are free to be gowned in a beautiful future, their high school lives now capped. There's so much good advice out there, floating around the earth, and I'm sure you've probably heard tons of it before. I suppose the most efficient way for me to give you advice today is to tell you to listen to your fortune cookies. They sometimes have good things to say. In fact, I brought one. Let's read it. You have a friendly heart and are well admired. Isn't that nice? You only get a dry mouth because of public speaking, you know. But, all right, fine. Of course, there are times in life when even a cookie from Brooklyn can't put it right. Times when finding adequate words is tremendous work. So, on a day like today, there's not much I can say, except congratulations, everybody.
Top 3 students, class of 2010. Good job, guys. Good job. You gonna be all right after that, huh? Usually we have a nice, beautiful song for you, but we thought comedy would do this year, so great job, Brendan. Moving on, to give our faculty address. Each year, students in the class are asked to vote for the teacher who they believe represents the Teacher of the Year. This year's Teacher of the Year, Ms. Maura Lynch.
Hi, guys. You know, when they were putting the lineup together for this, I had a feeling I was going to go after Brendan, and I wasn't too happy about it, but great job, Brendan. Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to Wilmington High School's class of 2010, their parents, and families. I want to thank the class of 2010 for honoring me. I'm so grateful. And I'd like to take a moment to tell you just how special and important you, the class of 2010, are to me. In my opinion, you are one of the most talented groups we've seen graduate from WHS. I had the pleasure of teaching many of you. You're smart, you're athletic, outgoing, friendly, respectful, and funny. So much so that I never actually felt as though I was coming to work or a job. You reminded me to enjoy the little things in my day-to-day life, and I appreciate that. One senior class that I had this year blew me away with their intelligence, their hard work, and their outgoing personalities. You guys were amazing when it came to everything English, and when I was observed this year, you really raised the bar and certainly had my back, and I'll never forget you for that. Another senior class had the most amazing personalities. Every day, you guys never failed to make me and your classmates laugh. While reading Othello, you even began naming the characters yourself. Does Rogero ring a bell? As a teacher, you always hope, you even pray a little before the start of a new school year, to have a class that can roll with the punches and have a little bit of fun. And you guys were that class for me, so thanks. My third senior class this year, definitely my most eclectic group. Disliked Hamlet more than anything, but you guys stuck it out. I was fortunate to have in this class some of the most intelligent kids, even the class valedictorian, some of the most caring and respectful kids, and certainly some of the most athletic kids. Next year, I will miss all of my senior classes, my expository writing class, my field hockey and lacrosse players. I'll miss those of you that I had in 9th grade and 10th grade, if you can remember back to then. Class of 2010, you are truly irreplaceable. Mrs. Shack, you all know her, always talks about the class of 98 as being her class, and that is how I will remember all of you. Since I've been giving you some homework all year long, I'd like to give you one final lifelong assignment. To all the athletes in the crowd, put together a scrapbook of your athletic accomplishments, fill it with pictures, newspaper clippings, and the pep talk your dad gave you before the big game. Keep in touch with family, it's so important. Tell the people most important in your life that you love them on a daily basis. Go outside of your comfort zone, take risks. You'll never know your full potential if you don't. When you commit to something, whatever that might be, follow through with it. Never lose touch with your high school friends, but certainly be open to new friends in college. Do what makes you happy, and that isn't always what will get you the most money. Be careful with your heart. When things get tough, remember the saying, "This too shall pass," and it will. My father told me that Ted Williams always wanted to be remembered as the greatest hitter that ever lived. Think about his philosophy there and apply it to something in your own life. In the words of Jimmy Valvano, there are 3 things we should all do every day. Number 1, he said, is laugh. You should laugh every single day. Number 2 is think. You should spend some time in thought each day. And number 3 is you should have your emotions move to tears. And this could be even happiness or joy. In closing, a quote from an iconic 80s movie that I'm sure you guys all have seen. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and take a look around once in a while, you could miss it. Congratulations and best wishes to the class of 2010.
Nice job, man. Great job. Without further ado, marshals. Goes the anxiety. I now present to everyone, class of 2010. Marshals, please raise the first row.
Smile, smile, smile. Katie Elizabeth Adley. Smile, smile. Danielle Alexa Allen. Brenda Lee Anderson. Chelsea Ellen Babcock. Daniel Gregory Bama. Martin Patrick Bamberg. Charles Anthony Barbaro. Stephanie Christina Barcelos. Edward Roger Barrasso. Richard Michael Barry. Ryan Patrick Bemis. Kaylee Marie Bernardo. Kyle Betancourt Bernardo. Nicole Elizabeth Bishler. Christian Robert Blaze. Allison Grace Blyer. Michelle Elizabeth Bortone. Patrick Lawrence Boudreau. Jareen Andrea Boudreau. Nicholas Michael Boutoris. Julie Ann Braid. Jacob Tyler Briere. Christina Maria Brown. Amy Elizabeth Brule. Sarah Lorraine Brule. Jessica Devin Bazinski. Jessica Ryan Burke. Evan Robert Butters. John Joseph Byrne. Kristen Ashley Cabral. Kellen Kathleen Campbell. Jacqueline Marie Carbone. Leah Marie Carroll. Cole Robert Carter. Nicole Lucia Cataldo. Christopher Michael Cazeau. Matthew Joseph Celeste. Sharon Marie Chikoyan. Sarah Choi. Christopher Paul Seeplick. Brendan Paul Collins. Sarah Catherine Colosimo. Ian Patrick Conway. Alexandra Naomi Kopp. Brian Timothy Kutu. Andrew Edwin Cranford. Elizabeth Mary Cronell. Kyle Gerard Creedon. Andrew Wallace Crispin. Heather Marie Crow. You did it. Congratulations. Christopher John Crowley. Casey Ann Cullinane. Congratulations. Kyle Hallie Curtis. Daniel George Cushing. Emily Ann D'Amelio. Caitlin Michelle Daly. Kayla Noel Davidson. Randy Simone Davis. Alicia Kelsey Days. Scott James Durand. Sierra Christine Dembowski. Ryan James Darian. Braden Robert Detweiler. Thomas Tien Din. I'm ready. You ready? Congratulations. Vanessa Ann Damond. Congratulations. Paul Christopher Duffy. Congratulations. Gabrielle Marie Immersion. Congratulations. Patrick Robert Enright. Congratulations. Elizabeth Joy Fagan. Amy Louise Fahey. Congratulations, Patrick John Fahey. Congratulations, Keegan. Keegan Scott Farnham. Congratulations, Brian. Brian David Fennelly. Congratulations, Dana. Dana Joseph Ferranti. Gregory Mark Fields. Good boy, Brian. Congratulations. Brian John Fitzpatrick. Congratulations. Jacqueline Marie Fitzpatrick. Congratulations. Kevin James Flaherty. Congratulations. Lance Michael Flaherty. Congratulations. Andrew David Flood. Congratulations. Kristen Nicole Fogarty. Congratulations. Colin James Foley. Daniel George Folk. Congratulations. Colleen Casey Frackleton. Congratulations. Brittany Jean French. Congratulations. Jillian Sarah Fudge. Congratulations. Olivia Rose Fuller. Congratulations. Sean Michael Furlong. Samantha Paige Galasso. Congratulations. Liam Broderick Clifford Gately. Congratulations. Marielle Beatrice Gertie. Congratulations. Dennis Michael Gingras. Congratulations. Nolan Edward Giroux. Congratulations. Melissa Elizabeth Gold. Congratulations. Ashley Ann Gonzalez. Congratulations. Thank you. Lauren Maria Griffin. Congratulations. Julie Christina Gustafson. Lawrence Charles Harrington. Stephanie Marie Hartka. Congratulations. Caitlin Nancy Hayes. Catherine Lorraine Hill. Elizabeth Catherine Himmel. Congratulations. Amanda Lee Hollenbeck. Congratulations. Jeffrey Michael Canali. Smile, smile. Andrea Christine Karalakis. Congratulations. Sean Francis Keene. Shannon Elizabeth Keeley. Patrick Stephen Kelly. Michael Warren Kelly. Stephanie Rose Kelly. Jillian Marie Lacey. Daniel Joseph Landry. Christopher William Laquadera. Matthew Lafarello. Sarah Elizabeth Lavoy.
Congratulations, Michael.
Private First Class Michael Victoriano Lamb.
Linda Lynn Lee. Alex Joseph Leiskow. Elizabeth Liberaki. Kenneth James Liston. Stephen Paul Lowell. Nicole Kimberly Luz. Jacqueline Marie Lyman. Daniel Joseph McKinnon. James Nelson Magnarelli. Ryan Kyle Malone. Dhruv Yogesh Manik. Brianne Lauren Mara. James Gerard Mara. Lindsay Marie Masoda. Michael Maze. Daniel James McCarthy. Megan Ann McCool. Rissa Lee McDonald. Brittany Ann McLaughlin. Deborah Ann McNeil. Victoria Grace Mendelson. Brett Carthcat Muse. Ariana Rose Miranda. Aaron Jacob Missif. Brendan Scott Mooney. John Patrick Moriarty. Michael Patrick Murphy. Eric Patrick Murray. Adele Marie Musicant. Angela Caitlin Nason. Jeannie Knock Wynn. Alyssa Marie Nyan. Mackenzie Evelyn Mary O'Brien. Samantha Ashley Palermo. Mia Blore Pauletti. Michelle Catherine Parise. Brianna Kathleen Paro. Laurel Mary Pickett. Colette Marie Pierce. Jessica Marie Plant. Danielle Mary Polcari.
Nicholas Gregory Pupa. Thomas Matthew Quilty. Megan Marie Quintel. Joseph Ralph Rastellini. Jared Gordon Ravini. Katarina Pishenin Riley. Amanda Beth Reese. Kayla Gail Reynolds. Jessica Marie Rivera. Christopher Peter Rivera. Jonathan William Rizzo. Allison Garnis Robbins. Caleb Jeremy Rogers. Zachary Michael Rosa. Maria Regina Rossetti. Lisa Marie Russell. Mark Joseph Scolari. Omer Ahmad Sheikh. Kyla Renee Shea. Cameron Raymond Shepard. Rachel Renee Silsby. Alex Michael Surroy. Brittany Rose Smith. Caitlin Elizabeth Souza. Derek Ronald Stemler. Jessica Lynn Stuckey. Danielle Corrine Segru. Ian James Sullivan. Chrissy Allen Sullivan. Alyssa Marie Sullivan. Sean Connor Sullivan. Kelsey Teresa Sullivan. Michael Anthony Tedesco. Robert Anthony Tioli. Carissa Marie Tilton. Aubrey Nicole Unvarsky. Charles Anthony Valenti. Thomas Anthony Valenti. Carolina Barboza Velozo. An Tang Tian Vo. Quang Vinh Tian Vo. Kayla Elizabeth Walkling. Christina Danielle Walsh. Sarah May Ward. Joseph Paul Warren. Stephanie Marie Weymouth. Lauren Marie Wickwire. Michael John Wilkinson. Michelle Leah Winchell. Amelia Daly Woodbury. Timothy Eric Woodland. Christine Marie Woods. Jacqueline Margaret Zaremba. Nikki Ray Zarella. Megan Ann Ryan. Christina Ann Tran. Having met all the standards set forth by the Massachusetts Department of Education, together with the graduation requirements of Wilmington Public School District, I now present Wilmington High School's class of 2010. Please pass your tassels. For the final time, class dismissed.
To get up that hall right now. Can't believe they walked out. No one came. Please feel free to join our grads as they leave the gymnasium for the last time. They're heading to the cafeteria.